but I got it.
You probably turn on your thing now.
Oh, I see what it is. If I start the damn thing in the right screen because it's a different display, it causes issues. And I'm just like, no. No, that's not what I
That
wanted
makes
to do,
sense.
you degenerate piece of technical issues already at the very first goddamn second. Very great. Now then, where was I? Hi, my name is Alcom, and you've reached the No Consequences podcast hotline. We're currently undergoing a slight issues with our normally scheduled podcast. However, we've come to you now as we're gonna go ahead and talk about the recent updates on. Well, the hell has happened now? What are we calling this one again? Oh yeah, we're calling it. We need to talk. We're going to be talking about the recent events that have been going on, what with the ongoing issues with COVID-19 and the new form riots that are building around the country, as well as the impacts on us as individuals and how we're dealing with our own daily lives. And alongside me is my co-hosts. There's Cloudy,
Hi.
Liz,
What's up?
Yo.
and there's Wiz.
You know, it's pretty cool that you're introducing us like this, but you got we need to talk as the title.
That's what it is. That's what it is. What do you?
Mead.
We need.
Not need.
Mead,
It's just
not
mead.
mead. You put mead.
You put mead.
Yo, could one of you guys go and fix it? Because apparently my dyslexic ass can't write.
Well, I'm sorry. You know what? That's gonna be the title.
Oh, come on.
We need to talk.
We need to talk.
Really? God damn it. I mess up and now you're just going to make me pay the
No
price.
Consequences podcast.
This is why I don't host. This is why I shouldn't host. For fuck's sake.
He one typo. It is the end of the entire podcast.
I swear to God, it's like every time I do this, I should not be made in charge of doing anything. All right, but yeah. So, like I said, we're going to be talking basically about the recent updates of the virus, which is effectively squad. Although most states are kind of getting tired of staying inside, staying locked down. Most states are are about to start opening up very soon. Like I think a couple of states are actually going to open up this week, while some are opening up in the next week or two. But
Yeah.
what about you,
Technically speaking, they're supposed to open now.
Oh.
Now? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. California specifically, by the way.
Why haven't you opened already?
Well, obviously, because of this whole mess that's going on now.
Yes, the protests going on around everyone.
Yeah.
And then, meanwhile, wait, now I gotta check mine. When are we opening up?
Yeah, that's
We're supposed to be opening up here in Philly at June 5th. So this Friday, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna walk outside. I'm gonna get smacked in the face by a rioter, dude. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. Can't wait. So cool.
Oh.
Let's see.
That's the Onion. Never mind.
Yeah, reliable
News sources.
I saw an
Onion.
APC. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh. So apparently,
What's going on your end of the boat?
we might be opening up probably sometime by the end of this week.
Hey, how about you, Liz? What's up down there in good old Florida?
Yeah.
Already.
You're already? Oh, yeah. Oh, right. You got Florida already opened the doors, and
shit.
I guess there's been any.
I mean, has there really been any new
amusement parks said that they were opening in June, and it's June.
Oh shit! Time to go to Florida then.
Well, that and I mean, hey, wait, has there really been any new cases of the virus?
Oh yeah, forgot about that. I have the thing open here.
Yeah.
Any new case?
I looked to confirm it, and South Florida beaches and hotels finally opened June 1st.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
The bars are anxious to reopen. That's what it said 2 days ago.
The bars, they need to
2
open
weeks
soon.
ago, malls, barbershops, and gyms reopened across the state. 2 weeks ago, the glimpse of Florida theme parks also reopening plans. which I already told you they were going to do it in June.
Nice. Okay. So then, oh great. So Florida's already open. All the amusement parks are ready. They're ready and raring to go.
Let me
I
double check
heard
on
that you
opening.
have to be careful still and wear masks and stuff to ease the spread. And that obviously, if you have the disease in the first place or you might be liable, that you shouldn't, obviously go out in the first place.
All right. Well, it looks so. Then all of us will soon be opening up. Our lives will soon be going back to normal.
Apparently,
Hopefully.
yeah. By the way, apparently in California, we're still on low. We're on stage 2 still, low risk.
Oh shit. Well, okay. Ours is basically we're still gonna be low risk kind of stuff. We still have to be precautionary measures. Everyone still has to try to practice safety and 6 feet apart, all that
I'm over
stuff.
here like apparently, from what I'm reading here, it should be around maybe next week or this week at reopening.
That's good. As
I'm
long
over
as
here like it's not doesn't sound like I'm over here like if people are like as long as people are doing this safe
practicing
shit now.
good hygiene and not losing their shit and just walking up to people who they're pissed off at and going
Yeah, as long as nobody's just being an asshole and just coughing on people.
Well, have you seen those videos though of some of the people who literally just are pissed?
I actually was able to go to the supermarket, right? Some dude got slammed into the goddamn refrigerator
For coughing?
because of that. Yes.
Oh wait. So you're saying he coughed on someone and then he literally
he pretended and the motherfucker got tackled into the
I mean, hey, you're threatening to give someone a potentially life-altering disease because that shit life-threatening, life-altering because either way they still causes some damage afterwards if you survive.
Some people are just assholes, but I'm just like, you deserved it. I don't care. I have no sympathy for people like that. So.
I mean, you literally walk up to someone and just go when there's a pandemic of a disease. God damn it!
Yeah, that's absolutely great, guys. We're living in that timeline where if you, oh god, what it was like? I feel like it's like a sketch
for
or like
a
a gag from a cartoon.
Yeah,
like as a
is.
kid, we would think this is hilarious, but we're living in that reality where some guy could be at the movie theater where we're just munching on popcorn. Just that guy's gonna be like, you're leaving. Goodbye. You're no go. Gets dragged in a movie theater for choking on his popcorn.
Standard of just having a mask on in general. I mean that's
everybody needs to wear a mask. That's the other thing, man. That's gonna be it is crazy to think that we're living in that timeline where I will have to go outside and wear a mask, and I'm already used to it. I lived in Japan, so that type of stuff hasn't really bothered me. But it's America though. We're now. What was it back in? Remember in March? I don't know when we were on the podcast. People were like, "We're against putting on masks. It doesn't work."
Now it's like everyone wears it.
Do it.
Yeah. It's more. There's even people getting special designs for their masks and everything.
I mean,
it's not fashion.
It's an accessory. It's actually an accessory now.
Oh my god, yeah. guys! Me and
showing my screen.
What? It doesn't?
Me and the boys are rolling up downtown with our Gucci branded masks.
Oh my god!
It says Supreme on it.
Oh, for God damn it! You really just said it has Supreme.
Actually, how much would that cost?
A Supreme mask?
Yeah.
Let me actually look it up and see if it exists.
I swear to God, if it exists.
Oh
no! It does. It does not actually exist, does it?
Hi, Amazon. No, okay, thank God it doesn't.
Oh, thank goodness. The last thing I wanted to know is that literally we have fucking Gucci and Supreme goddamn face masks.
No, surprisingly not. I was about to laugh if there was. Wait, what?
No lie though, having a mask is now in style because you need one anyway, so.
Never mind, I am in fact wrong.
You're fucking.
You're pranked.
You're fucking with me. No.
Cloudy. Oh, dude, wow, look at that.
Cloudy, did you just wait? What? Hold on. No. Please don't. Uh, uh, are you fucking me? What? No. Oh, shut the fuck up.
He thought I was kidding.
$29.99, $29.95 for this shit.
Yo, bruh, I'm coming in with my Supreme
Oh no!
mask
I
and my.
see Wiz wearing it.
Bitch, you can buy a pack of like 100 for this. Or no, you can buy a pack for like 30 for 2 packs of a.
Hey man, you gotta have that Supreme on your face.
Bitch, you're fucking kidding me.
Well,
Hey man,
like it's really strange to think that masks are now like a fashion style. I kind of imagine like if you look throughout like history, especially in America, masks were like always seen as like a big bad no. And nowadays it's like how do you have to look to go inside a store now? You gotta look like a hoodlum, I suppose, like you know the fucking hoodie over the head with the mask.
I mean, you gotta look like an anime protagonist.
You gotta look like an anime protagonist. You gotta have your edgy.
Christ.
Oh man, we've
gone to the worst.
Now.
No, the problem
does it have to be any mask?
No,
does it have to be any mask? Or is it a cosplay mask?
Remember, now with the whole riots and stuff, masks are seen as bad again because that's how the police see them. But hey, man, you're also trying to make sure you don't die from the goddamn virus. Oh my god, this
thing is, dude.
Hmm?
I don't know, man.
This year has been fucked. Like, what was it? First it was like there's a meme I saw. Literally, it was like World War III, the threat of World War III. Then
I'm gonna send this.
That was it.
The plague.
That went nowhere.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It started with World War III, and then Australia was literally
Australia was on fire and
was literally on fire for the majority of like February, and that was like ridiculous. And March, the Ronas came in super duper hard, and everybody had to go home. And then April, nothing continued to happen. We were just stuck inside, going insane. May, everything was like fine for the most part. We got just to it, and then riots.
And then June.
And then not even June. Like the end of May.
End of May is when
week,
this happened.
The final week of May, like when literally, like we're talking about cities like up in Northeast, like New York and stuff, are about to reopen. They were about to reopen, and now it's like, all right, guys, it's time.
Right. May was like civil unrest. May was like every like small town was about to rise up against their own government because they're like, let us out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now
also,
I remember.
On top of that, you know what's scary about this whole riot situation right now?
Hmm?
People are calling it a revolution now.
Well, revolution of what?
No idea. They just called it a revolution.
A revolution of what? What's going on? Like, where's my revolution, dude? Where's my bandanas? Where's my revolution?
It's right here. It's right here. It's the Supreme bandana.
It's the Supreme branded logo. That's what it is.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh man, dude. Okay. Honestly, guys. Honestly. If we step back for a second and kind of look at like what's going on in our world, I gotta say.
Hmm?
We joked about it. Division. Haha. February.
We called it.
Here we are.
Called it a long time ago.
Here we are. At it again.
We literally civil unrest with a virus.
I forgot.
The government is rising up against the people. Well, the government is taking extreme measures against the people. People are rioting and protesting. People are now starting to bear arms. Oh my god, it is actually happening.
Things are going nuts.
The division is happening.
Man, fuck the division. And I guess now it has, man, fuck the government. Is that what it is now? Well, I mean, there's
always been protests. Fuck the government.
Yeah, obviously, but now with like the current status, like it's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get. I can't even imagine what it, guys. We've been okay. So I want to like step back for a second and kind of like really think. Honestly, guys. We live in so we were in
living in society.
No. We were in quarantine since March. So a lot of our lives have been paused. It's been in flux and stuff like that. And just when we were about to go out and things were about to work at it again, kablamo, big done.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and Aura's right. Hong Kong. I forgot. That's it's civil unrest the entire year.
Yeah.
The entire year, it's civil unrest.
Yeah.
So doesn't help that they're already getting what is it, over in Asian countries, especially China right now. They're already hitting the second wave's already hitting them of the virus.
Oh, really? Is it in second waves?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they've already been.
Oh, bugger.
So yeah, all the other meanwhile, is it that meme picture? Actually, fuck it, let me look it up. It's that meme picture. The rest of the world like trying to recover from Corona.
And then America on a side quest.
There
Guys.
was one where it was just like the world and America were selecting difficulties for 2020, and America, like America was sitting next to it, and the world picks hard and hardcore, and America picks nightmare, and it's just like wearing sunglasses on.
So wait. So basically, America's doing Ultra Nightmare. No hit.
I mean,
Oh my
it feels
God.
like it for sure.
Oh no. We can make video game jokes out of this now.
I mean, we've
odd.
been calling it the Division. Unfortunately, we were right. It's well, hopefully, okay, it's leaning towards it. It's leaning towards it, but hopefully we're wrong.
There's so many different
You
things.
quiet. When I was in sophomore year, my history teacher asked me what was the thing that I feared the most, and I said, civil unrest. Well, you know what's going on. You know what's happening. Social collapse is coming. Is coming.
Well, so it is kind of funny. It is kind of funny that, everything we have read. I don't know how many of us read like literature and stuff like actual books and things like that. But I haven't read 1984 in a long time. But you think it's coming? You think 1984? Well, I mean, 1984 is already here. Some may say.
What about George Orwell?
George Orwell's War of the Worlds? Is that it? What, we're getting aliens?
My slaughterhouse. I have the slaughterhouse book somewhere.
Oh yeah,
that's
looking
for the book.
The
I haven't read it.
slaughterhouse.
Time to listen to the audiobook.
By Kurt Vonnegut. Oh, I smacked my mic. Okay. Slaughterhouse 5, an American classic, is one of the world's great anti-war books, centering on the infamous firebombing of Dresden. Billy Pilgrim's fantasy, that odyssey through time, reflects the mythic journey of our own fractured lives as we search for meaning in what we fear the most. And then I think I do have...
You know what though? What makes it worse? That all this is happening and we've been bored and locked inside and we're dying to get out. And now this whole civil unrest.
I also own Animal Farm.
Oh, nice. That's a good book to have.
Yeah, but yeah. That's good.
But like I said, with all the civil unrest,
Animal Farm depicts what is going on right now, and it's supposed to be what you're supposed to not do. In fact, it is a it says right here that when Animal Farm was first published, Stalinist Russia was seen as its target. Today it is devastatingly clear that wherever and whenever freedom is attacked, under whatever banner, the cutting clarity and savage comedy of George Orwell's masterpiece have a meaning and message still ferociously fresh. I know about the book very well. I mean, in class they had us read it, but the way that the story is that all the farm animals took over the farm from the farmer because they were sick and tired of being essentially oppressed, and then eventually the pigs started becoming lazier and forcing the other animals into more of a servitude, and then in the end they were wearing the farmer's old clothes, talking with other human beings, and they said that they couldn't tell which was which because they all looked like pigs wearing clothes. So it's it's difficult. The world at the moment.
And now, well, one of the worst things is like I'm trying to remember because it keeps getting brought up to me, and I'm just like, oh, okay, that's nice. I actually keep brushing it aside because it's, I don't know why. Well, it is important, at least for all of us. Like the whole, like the recent space launch and everything. It should have been a tremendous thing for us as humans because advancing technologies and stuff. We kind of just brushed it aside, all of us.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it is just
Even know
research.
it happened until the fucking memes came out. And was
I
like, "Whoa."
know. It's that bad. We don't even notice our advancements in technology or anything because we're all too busy trying to just not die of boredom. And now that riots are happening, and this is how bad
I
it's
mean,
gotten.
imagine this. Imagine like I remember I could have watched the SpaceX launch with my friends in VR chat, and they were watching it live. They all got their costumes. They all were getting ready. What I was doing, watching my local news and helicopter footage of what's going on with the riots.
Exactly.
That's what happened. Ah, man, that is just a strange world. Well, then again, I also checked out the SpaceX launch, and that's pretty achievable. That's pretty much that's an impressive achievement, obviously. Can't wait to 2024. Hopefully, we do get to the moon and stay there. That'd be pretty crazy.
Thinking of fucking Planet of the Apes scenario for that.
Oh no, dude, that would suck.
I mean, you mentioned it before. Just imagine the astronauts coming back to see what the fuck the aftermath is of all this shit.
Yeah, oh, okay. Someone said it in chat earlier. As an example, imagine waking up from a fucking coma, from the 2019 to 2021.
Where's the coma memes? Bring them back.
I want to see what that person's life is like.
We literally have a 28 days later,
wake
except
up,
20.
like, what happened?
What is it, like 24 months later? Just come back. You missed the entire 2020 shit, and you're like, what the fuck happened? What is this thing about a virus?
Happened?
Why have we been taken over by yogurt?
By yogurt?
It's a reference to Love, Death, and Robots.
Oh no.
Oh shit. I want to start touching subject about the riots themselves. I'm just like, I don't know where to start. I mean, well, obviously the thing to start with would be what sparked it all, the asphyxiation of the.
Yeah, that was actually confirmed at this
Yeah,
point.
it was asphyxiation. They basically put pressure on his neck with the officer putting pressure on his neck with his knee, and then asphyxiated like that. And everyone caught it.
All on camera.
It was all caught on camera. Everyone can see it. And there's no saying it didn't happen. But isn't there police body cams? I thought they had those.
Yes.
Yeah, police body cams. Yeah, and I think they were like they have to have them on at all times. That means you can shut it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, that's gonna look hilariously suspicious. So why would you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all that really depends on the investigation, and as well as like a lot of the things you can talk about when it comes to that stuff. It's basically all right. So this is probably out of our territory because I don't know how many of us know this, but actually no, never mind. We got paralegal here. So the one thing I don't understand, the one thing that confuses me is how far does a police officer get charged with negligence? Like how does investigation process and things like that work?
It all depends on how much force was used upon the person and how much was actually determined to be necessary. So when they're reviewing, they're gonna see how dangerous the suspect was, what they were doing to either if they were resisting, how much they were resisting, how much of a threat they were to the officer and anyone around them. And they have to determine, they basically are balancing whether or not the amount of force used to apprehend, suspend or hold down the person was justified. In this case, no, because multiple officers looking at the videotapes, multiple people reviewing the tapes have determined that is not appropriate. That was not even normal police procedure to do so. And granted, I don't know typical procedure when it comes to attaining and holding down anyone. Yeah, basically they went too far. A lot of the cops who are reviewing it, a lot of his department reviewing it, they're saying no, this is not correct. You literally, this is homicide. They committed homicide. So yeah, they're more than likely gonna be
what
charged.
I don't understand was
Hmm?
why they didn't just because like
Hmm?
Human said then like Ziv was talking to us about it earlier, and the
Yeah.
guy they said that he was claustrophobic.
Yeah, and
Just kept
Demon is
falling
even
on the
saying
floor.
that.
I don't we were just like, well, we've seen similar things before, and like someone who's like falling out of fear is like different than
That's
somebody
not
who's like attempting to
resist.
because
He's
it's
not trying
just
to
like
get up. He's not trying to fight them. He's literally falling to the ground. I don't think that's good. No judge, no nothing who's reviewing this. There's no way in hell you could say that he was trying to slip away by falling to the ground. And claustrophobia is basically just paralyzing him. So he's not even moving. He's not even going to be trying to run or anything. All it's doing is just causing trouble for the officer when they try to lift him up and put him, say if they were going to just take him and detain him in a cruiser or just take him over to the local office. But no, what they did was not correct. They should not have put pressure on him, especially if he was not even getting up. Again, I don't know why they even would consider this resisting arrest. Well, okay. Basically, I can understand. They're considering it because like they're trying to carry him away, and he's just dropping dead, like he's playing dead, or he just falls flat.
he's a large man.
But
it's kind of difficult for one person to try
Yeah,
to pick him up.
yeah, that's true. But
You know, I wouldn't kneel on his neck. I would have
exactly,
somebody like, you know, somebody like on his back where you aren't going to suffocate
yeah,
somebody using your weight to keep him down on the floor to cuff
Yeah.
him. And
It's
if he
like-
continues to like, because you know you can't help it, but you know sometimes people just act the way they do to keep out of arrest for a little bit. There is always the option that you never know, but there's always the option. I don't personally know him. I don't know if he actually did or not.
mm.
I don't look into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, like, what
I like to
happened?
stay out of it.
Just thinking, what happened though?
It's a strange situation,
Yeah,
and you know, it's difficult to me that not all police departments have the cameras because they can be expensive, and
Mhm.
reviewing the footage it takes a long time. So it really is. It depends on the department, and I guess they just didn't particularly have them. Not 100%, but
Part that confuses me.
I-
I'm just literally, hey chief, this guy's not getting up when we try to put him in the cruiser. Oh, just put your knee on his neck and put some pressure on it. I don't get how they got to that point. This man doesn't get up. That doesn't mean you need to put pressure on his neck to put him down. Were they trying to knock him out? You know what? I'm digging into this. This is for the police department and for the courts to decide. They have to try and figure out why the fuck they did that. In any case, those officers have been found negligent.
Whether or not they have the taser. I would have tased him.
I mean,
if it would,
if
because
it,
like at least with that, it isn't something lethal. And if you think that he is resisting, it'll just like cause him to seize up and stop what he's doing, so that you can take a period of time and move.
less than lethal kind of measures, yeah.
I've seen it happen before. It really does depend, because there have been videos, like if you see the one video where the guy is in like a Baskin Robbins and like he wouldn't leave, so then a female officer came and she kept tasing him because the guy kept trying to fight her. He had like actually tried to fight her, like he hit her in the face, and like she just kept tasing him because he wouldn't properly get in the to the position he was resisting like heavily, and
Right. And
it's a lot. It's a lot to take in, but does not mean that you should react with violence
and
attempt to
by the way,
destroy your community.
Demon is right in the chat. The other thing I forgot to mention is any previous history the police officer may have on his record of any violence or anything that, say, went over excessive force or anything over the line, that's also going to count against him, which, yeah, this is not good for him. Apparently he had a record. So he pretty much is gonna get charged with stuff. It's this whole thing just sparked everyone's rage. Everyone's pissed.
I just remember years
Mhm.
ago when it was just about injustice and the officer getting away, but he has been arrested and he will be tried in the court of law.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't understand particularly where everyone is. It just because they're bored? Because we all know about history and shit and how when they're bored they do the weirdest fucking shit, just like lynching people and everything, just so they could get some entertainment.
The
And
thing,
it's like,
the thing is, it's also the fact a couple of people have stated it is like I've talked to a couple of IRL friends, like it's also the fact that it's they're using okay they may the we argument is a little weak, but at the same time I'm like okay I can kind of see it. It's present year, and yet we still have this kind of stuff still happening. These officers aren't getting checked. These officers aren't like he apparently, like I said, the officer did have previous history of doing a bit of excessive force. So why wasn't he already either like suspended or why? Well, no, he probably was. It's that's the thing. It's still just weird that even now in 2020, this kind of shit is still happening. There's also lots of other videos that have been recently coming out now that the riots are in full have gone full blown or lack of a better term. You're seeing more instances of police officers stepping over the line, of going way too far with some people. In fact, like any of you guys have any video references you want to mention, like tons of them are rampant.
Oh, I have a couple.
I mean, good
I
examples
have a
of like
couple.
good examples of like good moments of cops are when they kneel down to to let the protester know, hey, we're on your side. Some officers literally just putting their shit away. I mean, Cloudy, you posted one right there.
I posted one that's
I did
literally
into it, and they say that
there was even one where a guy even like he walked up to police officers and like straight up holding a like a case of like water
Yeah.
and said, "Hey, I don't want to fight with y'all. I don't want. We're all here for the same reason. Yada yada yada." He left the water there. He's like, "This is for you guys. Whenever you guys want to pick it up, I'm not here to fight you.
Right. And
I'm
Liz,
just here for the same pain as everybody else."
Liz, what were you saying?
I did look and I looked into what Cloudy posted, and the account's not that old. It was made in May of 2020, and lots of people think that it may or may not be true, and it's been called into question.
Oh yeah, there's been a lot of falsification of some of the stuff. Like there was that one picture that people posted about the explosion that was saying like that happened near the Capitol.
Yeah, that was found out to be from a show, and I'm just like, what the hell?
Yep.
Also,
Demon
has sent you something, by the way, Alcom.
I can't really show it on
videos and like
yeah.
Someone said that in Oregon the cops were standing with them and just saying, "Please behave peacefully, and we understand." And one of our friends said that the cops are choosing to do it peacefully there, even though the protesters there have had a history of being violent to the cops and at the cops. And there's just lots of just sad things happening, and you see the good of it and you see the bad, but a lot of it's the bad. It's just it's pretty much just soaking the soil of the United States and defacing just like all the monuments, which is really terrible to me, because why would you destroy history and try to attempt to remake it instead of atoning with your past and the problems that came with it and understanding that you're going to do better? Instead, you're just trying to, I don't know, make your mark, but it's one that affects everyone badly, and it makes me worried. Like I even have my Discord status at the moment is what are you depicting to the next generation? Like, do you really like? Are we showing that the kids? Are you showing me and like all the other kids and children my age and those who are illegal, the young adults? What are you showing them? that if something does not go your way, that you're going to react violently, that you aren't going to attempt to handle things peacefully and to talk it out, to listen. It's very disappointing to me because all the things that I see in the past and even like the civil rights movements and the various other like we will keep doing this without like there's just lots of I'm not going to be angry. I'm not going to be violent because I know that's just going to make me seem worse. And it's like those rioters nowadays, the people who are attempting to destroy things and deface uh, the, the places that they think that harmed them are just defacing themselves and their own movement. I think that people should use their abilities creatively instead of destructively because you don't have to destroy things to create. You can build off of things. You can build like it just really saddens me the large amount of people who are going the incorrect way.
That's a problem when it comes to outrage. It causes us not to think or like just react.
There's a
Not in the
mob
right way.
mentality around it, and the hardest part about is that a lot of people just have, you know, they just don't know. They this is what they think they're outraged. They must physically take it out on something. That's what they think. That's what they should do. That's because that's all they feel,
Mm-hmm.
and they gotta express it in a way that gives police and all those and the city officials this is how they are. This is how we're gonna react. We're gonna trash. We're gonna do all of this. We're gonna cause disruption because if you guys weren't willing to work with us before, well now here's a message. This is what we can do to the city. We will tear it up. We will destroy it in order to get our message out. And yes, it is effective, but it leads to a lot of so many issues. One of the big things I feel is why are they destroying local businesses? Why are they destroying like places that actually can help?
Yeah, like I saw
Yeah.
Demon sent us a video of this. He actually had us watch it with him,
Mhm.
where it was a black man. He was screaming and yelling at the like he was just trying to say.
Yeah.
I couldn't personally hear it because I didn't say anything, but there were subtitles. But I could tell he was angry. It's just like, why are you destroying my business?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? Like I am on your side and you're taking from me. I worked hard for it. And now it's gone. Like it's like
And outrage. You don't think mom, like Wiz says, mom mentality. Once you're part of the mob, when you see a group of people doing it, you're like, oh, this is okay, or at
are we
least
pointing to that one guy who was taking Legos from the
oh.
who's looting Legos from the shop?
Okay, that man's has his own priorities right there. I feel like he has that dude has something else going on. There's like there's also that one video where people just decide to like torch this homeless guy's stuff, all of his stuff, and you just wonder, oh shit, it's just like just why this one guy? Why did he get targeted? Just some homeless dude. He just burned all of his shit. That's literally all of his
Oh, yeah,
worldly
they burned,
possessions.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They burned his bed.
Yeah, they burned his bed. Motherfucker literally is trying to like save it. He's reaching into the fire, pulling it out. He's just yelling at everyone. It's like going, "Come on!" As I think someone else who is with another homeless person with him is just trying to stomp out the fires, but it's already ruined.
They set a historical building on fire. They defaced the Lincoln Monument, and
Mhm.
there's even just like portions of them who are just like they as many as there are peaceful protests, they're just more violent ones, like ravaging
Yeah.
the cities and like I've only been told that like a lot of these are more up north away from where I am. I don't know about Miami, I haven't looked into it. Don't particularly.
Yeah.
It hasn't gone over my head though. I do know that there are protests there, but not just.
Yeah, originally, I was thinking. Oh God.
I'm kind of just like. I just wish that, like, instead of just seeing things through an angry lens and just trying to, like, shout over each other and prove your point, that you shouldn't just try to prove your point. Like, your first job when you're trying to argue something, trying to change something, is to listen and understand the different views around you, and that, there are people out there who think differently than you. And then on top of that, then realize that you aren't always entitled to getting your words out there, that sometimes there are problems that should be solved first, and that you should look into that as well. And then the next step is to be, okay, where should I start? How good can I do it? And, where are these people that I can, with kindness and politeness and being respectful, can I talk to them so that I can show them what it's like to be me, what my problems are with what is currently going on, and what others can do. And instead, it's just, I'm going to be selfish and put everything out here and take and take and take and take and take and take and take, because eventually, then I will be fulfilled. But then you don't. It just keeps going, and that's why it's gotten to this point. Because we've let these people in to our hearts and to our minds that are going to stop at nothing to take everything that we have, our family, our homes, and our lives, because they are not fulfilled. And they can never just be satisfied, because there's always going to be a problem, even no matter how minute it is, and even how major. It's just very saddening. I just want peace, just a little bit, because you know how it is. Constant state of human beings is war and unrest. But it's just that we've lost the ability to compromise and just to understand that even though we can get more at this moment in time, we should just stop and think, should I really pursue it in this moment? And it's just like, if there was this like breakdown, this self-intrusiveness, and like learning what you felt, not what other people felt, I don't think this would have happened, because like it would have just been like self-contained, because you would have stopped yourself from
Gotcha.
going further and understanding, because a lot of it is just, you cannot control other people, but
Mm-hmm.
you can control yourself. And
Right.
so it's like you hold your own responsibility.
Right. Exactly. We all do. Now, let me address something, because both of you, Aura, Demon, you do make good points. Yes, there is some issues going on with how it's being handled by the police officers, and there is all this fear of military involvement already getting in certain states.
I've
Now,
heard
the reason
martial law being
the reason for this
enacted.
is the reason martial law is being enacted is, originally, protests, you are fine. Civil protest is perfectly fine. You have the right to do so. You have the right of freedom of speech, especially if it's against government tyranny. Now,
In fact,
the
the way
issue
it said it
is
was, you have to
that,
peacefully assemble.
yes,
Like
like I said,
it literally said that word,
yeah,
peacefully.
as long as the protests remain protests, as in peaceful protests, where people are gathering to sway the opinion of all, to get their government officials to realize what's happening, to get the police officers who were involved properly charged, which they have already, then it's all fine. The problem is, wait, hello? Oh shoot. Think we just had some issues with the connection, guys. Oh no. Let's see. Yep. Discord crashed. Give me a second, everyone. Oh no, it's affecting Discord now.
Your
Yeah.
Discord chat.
Yeah,
Your
Discord just crashed on us. Give us a second. We're setting it back. We're getting it back.
Oh, jeez.
Getting it back.
We're getting back to business, guys. Holy crap. That was the first. Never had. Hey, for the first Discord crash during a podcast. Hooray. Now, as I was saying, right now, like I said, civil unrest is fine as long as you protest it in a peaceful manner because you're getting your word across, and that is your right, as everyone's God-given right. Now, when the civil unrest becomes violent, when the civil unrest becomes like it turns to looting, that's when no, that's not okay.
That's
You're
not
just
good.
taking advantage of all the chaos to steal shit at that point.
Exactly.
Exactly. And so stuff needs to be. That's why the police has to get involved. That's why everything's happening the way it is right now, and we have all this going on. If say if all of a sudden like no, the police didn't have to do any of these steps, it's all good. No, we wouldn't be having the military involvement. We wouldn't be having the riots that we're having right now. Everything would not literally be burning down as it is.
Yeah.
But that's currently the issue we're facing. That's why you see in the news, there are people tearing down stores, or people tearing down people's property. Not even related to any of this. Not even related to any of the what happened with the original issue with the police officers who like suffocated the man. That don't matter. They're just breaking into places, stealing shit. And at first I was thinking, look, people have not been working for weeks now. Some people have no income. Maybe they're stealing from stores to get things that they need. But then you see video of like, say, GameStop's being robbed, of Target's getting targeted, Walmart's being burned. You're not trying to survive at that point. You're not trying to find food or anything. You're just literally just getting whatever you want because you're taking advantage of a situation. Protests are not a free pass to start rioting and start looting and start pillaging your own place and basically ruining the lives of your fellow man. And that's why police have to get involved. But I'm playing a little bit of devil's advocate for the police officers. There are good police officers out there. Now I'm starting to think, what
You're
if...
not being devil's advocate if you're telling the truth.
All right, then I'm being honest. What I'm thinking is, like, there are good police officers. Now, with all the crazy shit that's going on, isn't it possible that some of these officers are being now pushed to the brink? They are snapping.
You do understand that they do get psycho evals, right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They're people. They're humans. And they can...
people make mistakes, and like the media loves highlighting people make mistakes. It's just like sometimes you're afraid for your life.
Even the good cops are on edge. Even the good cops are now on edge because they don't know anymore. At any moment, they could be targeted by anyone because it doesn't matter. Good cop, bad cop.
Killers.
Yeah, good cop, bad cop. A cop killer will still target you because you're a cop. And just like how the mentality is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what a good cop or bad cop. The cop will still target you. It's just that mentality.
Please fly your social service flags, like the ones that where the American flag's all blacked out except for a few stripes that are blue or red or white. Those ones represent the service, the firefighters, the policemen. If you, I don't know where to get them from, but if you would like, they do sell them, and it's a good message to have.
Yeah.
That you support the service as a whole.
And remember, like, most of the good stuff you'll never see. You'll never see the good things police officers do. There's only a few.
There were more corrupt cops than there in the past than there were now, because it's very easily
caught.
Because there's psycho evals, there's the situations with the fact that like people are just like.
They can see it. The body cameras exist. They're all there. You'll catch these motherfuckers, especially the ones that are causing trouble. But
But eventually, you know, some of the bad apples do, you know, stack over the top of everyone, and eventually you get, you know, we get circumstances like this, and that's kind of the most difficult part about what it's like to be a cop right now. You know, earlier, Claudia posted that, you know, tweet for that SWAT officer who just threw his gear on the ground, and that was it. Like that's that we're in a dangerous time, and it's the hard part is, you know, you need the law more than ever, and yet at the same time people don't want it around.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hardest part of all, and it basically you hate the cops, but until something bad happens to you, then you know, then that's what usually I feel like that happens more often than not.
Yeah, boy who cried wolf, pretty much, more or less.
So I want to say that is this more of you hate the enemy, and then the to them they're like, oh, they afforded the man, but as soon as something bad happens to you, you will run to the man, you ask for the help, you because it's just like oh, but it's happening to me now, you know. It's like that. It's like earlier you were saying, like, these people support the, you know, they were supporting the riots, they were with people, but as soon as it happens to you, you go, I was one of you. Why are you doing this to me? Well, it's because you just so happen to be in the way, and we want your stuff. But we're doing this for the riots. We're doing this for the people, man.
My mentality doesn't give a shit. If you're in the line of fire, you're fucked. You just get out.
Yeah, you're just sorry. That stuff is mine.
By the I wanted to highlight. You know how everyone is trying to post stuff, trying to show you know, support.
Oh yeah.
Let's not forget how people are literally faking stuff to show either support or that they're taking part, or that, you know, they're there are people
all the shadow artists that are just like, let's draw something about this because it'll get my art promoted.
They're trying
taking advantage.
I mean,
of an event, and it's like
everyone's doing stuff. I've seen those videos showing people literally pretending like they're either breaking into stuff and the riots, or pretending that they're there for just a little bit and then they're gone. The scene. Oh fuck it. What was his name? Shit. Goddamn. What is that YouTuber's name? Big YouTuber. Fuck. What is his name? I mean, he's a YouTuber. He's not a Twitch streamer, so I'm fine. I should be able to talk about it. This is good.
Oh yeah.
Twitch, don't clap me on this. Fuck. What is his name? What is his name?
Don't clap us.
Jake Paul. Jake Paul is also doing this shit. Like he's posting stuff like he's there, he's been there.
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul? Oh, then well, I mean, I don't know. I don't really watch either of them. It's not like I'm expected to know who is who.
Fucking both of
them. No, dude, it's Logan Paul. He's like pretending he's there and being part of it and stuff.
Sure.
He's like, he literally participates. He's taking part, but he's posting on Twitter. He's posting on everything that he's there. There's so many people posting that they're part of it, that they're supporting it. Some of them maybe okay, some people are donating to some of the local charities that exist, and that's good. That's really good.
There's a lot of them. There's been a lot of them, and thank God.
And I've seen even artists doing their best, like they're offering their services, like probably offering commissions at a lower price to get more people to commission them. Excuse me. And everything going to charities. It's just hilarious. So that I'm seeing, I actually look into it and I'm seeing, there is a rise of people potentially faking their stuff, which is hilarious.
What platform we're using for coverage of protests?
For my platform for coverage on the protests, either just local news sources that I can find, but I have to try and find sources. Like I have to find like the sources of their sources, which then leads me to a rabbit hole. Leads me to a fucking rabbit hole of like, wait, hold on, this is inconsistent.
I would suggest watching them all and see, you know, they're all going to tell you the same things.
Let's see. I also watch some YouTubers who also post stuff, but they normally, and most of those YouTubers who do so, they provide sources, they provide links that where you can watch the actual original videos And I mean, one of them that I usually watch is I didn't watch him. I haven't watched him in like weeks, but one of my normal things for when I talk about certain things that I've been aware of on the podcast, it would be like Philip DeFranco, for
Speaking
instance. But
speaking
again,
of DC,
I always double check my sources. So if I only
I'd
talk about
always
stuff I'm
say
aware
that,
of.
of course, media is going to coverage the riots over the protesters because they
Mm-hmm.
find that the
There we
most
go.
exciting and that
something,
people
too.
will
See?
watch it.
Let's see. Like quality post.
This is something that's happening in
Give you a sense of how
outside
many
the White
posts are
House right
outside the White House right now, 20 minutes after curfew. Oh, so this is just after curfew. Oh, Jesus. Holy shit.
now. Yeah.
Justice now, justice now. I mean, hey, this is an example of peaceful protest right there. That's a good example. They're all just there saying,
Actual
yeah.
protest. It's nobody breaking shit or anything, instigating anything.
There you go. That's a good example of how political protests are. Just like
By the
how
way,
in the
that's not
previous
from any-
one.
That's not from any
But
news
if
source or
you
anything.
think about it, they shouldn't be doing that at the moment, if you know what I mean. I'm
Yeah.
always up for protest,
Hmm.
and peaceful protests especially. But at this moment in time, is it really necessary?
2 weeks. We will not know what is the impact of these these protests for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That is the biggest thing. We won't know what is the aftermath of these protests. From what I'm assuming, there's going to be some changes, and there's definitely going to be like a change of air of within America for about a couple weeks, and then everyone's going to forget. Because protests like this happen like plenty, like have happened throughout the years, and have they led to any real change?
Not really at the moment. Who was the last person who died? Do any of you remember?
No.
Fuck no.
No.
You only remember until it matters, and even then, I don't know.
And the worst part is we're in the middle of a pandemic, and in the middle during a stage where the cities are trying to reopen to get the local economy, to get people just finally working again. And this happens, and now local businesses are being ransacked. We have multiple different people injured, arrested. Literally everything is on fire. So as soon as something good was supposed to happen, or something supposed to, bring back some type of cohesion in society, it's broken again. And then on top of that, we also have, the upcoming weeks of how many people who were infected. We won't even know.
Yeah.
And that's the scary part.
I was about
That's
to
the
ask
real
you.
fear.
I was about to ask you. You said we won't know for 2 weeks. I'm just wondering, are you talking about like what changes this causes in terms of like police enforcement or the virus?
Infection rate.
Yeah.
The infection rate of virus. Like who went here? Who was a carrier?
Yeah.
Like
that's
they
the
didn't
part,
know they had it.
That's the part. That's the part where I'm just like, this is gonna set us back. This is literally our wave 2. Our wave 2 is caused by the upset and the riots.
Wave 2 plus, I would say, because we already had
spikes. This is why you don't go outside when an epidemic is going on, you stupid idiots. What did we say the past few podcasts? Stay inside, stay safe. And about the things with the peacefulness and whatever the heck, think about it. If you watch television or anything with commercials or anything whatsoever, in the past few weeks, it was always stay together. Let's get through this together. Let's make sure nothing terrible happens to all the people who are liable for this disease. There have been multiple movements, stay inside, recreate old artworks with objects you have laying around in the home. I had to do that for a school project.
Develop
and
a
then
hobby.
there's do things that you haven't been able to before, haven't been able to learn. Please stay home. And then there's the artists who are bound together, who were trying to honor the policemen, the firefighters, and even the EMTs, the doctors, the plenty of people who are trying to help others. And now look where we are. We're back at square one, where we hate everyone.
Again, outrage. Just that
I wouldn't
Trump's
even
kind of
say
logical thought.
square one. I wouldn't even say square one. I feel like we just resetted the clock back to March. We were
Yeah.
so close, and now clank clank clank. It's back at it again.
Basically, we're hey, remember how everything was gonna suddenly open up for at least for quite a few states? Yeah, they're gonna reconsider it in about 2 weeks. Once all this is over, they're gonna see how many of their states had active protests around their area, what was the turnout, and then they're gonna see all the reports from their local hospitals of how many people have been confirmed positive for corona. And then the states are gonna be like, we're in emergency state again. Fuck it, lock down everything again.
Again, yeah.
Coral, I understand that like some of the protests are non-violent, but I have seen videos where people have like I did see plenty of stuff where it's just like the protests aren't.
Oh yeah, no.
Aren't
What's
peaceful.
happening?
They aren't.
Yeah, what's happening,
Did
Koro,
you see the
is
one where the person got run over by a car?
yeah. What
I
happens
was-
is people start protesting peacefully, then something sparks. Something happens.
It's always one thing.
There's always either a rioter on one side or a police officer on the other side who takes it too far. They go way too far. They incite anger with the other group, and then shit happens. And then once one group is pissed, then that's it. It's a mob. They turn into a mob. They turn violent, and it's just all downhill from there.
And we're not hyper focusing on the violence. The violence shouldn't happen.
Oh yeah, no,
whatsoever.
I don't
You
mind
shouldn't go
protests.
violent.
Yeah.
Like I am someone who says if something bad happens and you just want to take control because you know your government's not going to do anything about it, peaceful protest. Assemble the people that agree with you and maybe even the people who aren't, but they want something different. Just compromise. Protest together because it's supposed to be a peaceful assembly of others who are like-minded that want change.
And yeah, Koro, you're right. There are a lot of protests that are happening around in the country that are peaceful. Unfortunately, we still live in a media that likes to hyper focus on the stuff that is violent, the stuff that'll that'll turn heads. That's how it is. That's how the media is. We live in a society now where news is instant. We can just turn on to any news source. We can go online. We have Twitter feeds, Facebook feeds. They all immediately point to what happened in which city that was violent. Almost rarely will you see good reports of, like, say, police hugging it out with protesters or sharing a drink or anything like that. You'll always see the worst because that's what grabs your eye. But at the same time,
I personally there are a lot of peaceful protests, but there are like there's people who've been trying to break into the Washington Capitol, the building,
yeah,
the White House. We all know the White House, and then there's just then you just see this there's just so much destruction in wake of a lot of the cities so far. And it's just the larger ones at the moment. I don't know anything about the smaller areas and stuff, but Wiz was worried, I believe, about where he was. Some of my other friends have family around the area that has been inflicted, and they're worried about them. And it's just I'm sorry. I just don't want it to happen.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to because there's people who are just making excuses for all this stuff. It's just terrible. You shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah, because
why are you making
because remember, the main part of this whole riot stuff was the mishandling of the George Floyd, the man who was choked to death by police officers. Now, the police officers who committed that, who did the wrong, they are already accountable. They're already getting charged. Now, the protest, normally a protest, especially when it's like a wrongful death due to police violence, it ends once there's justice. Justice has been achieved there. The police are getting charged. The police have been found guilty. They've reviewed everything. Though they did not perform the correct manner in which to detain him. And basically their department is being reviewed. Those two are basically going to face charges. That should have been it in terms of what the protest was seeking. But because the protest turned to riots, there's also now new issues that are happening. Other police officers are being seen misbehaving, doing wrong, and now it's just fueling the fires, and everyone's just going nuts with it, saying more, they want retribution, they want more justice, they want all this other stuff. There's the police now being overwhelmed with so much of these riots. There's a lot of like I said, all these people. They are people, of course. So they break down. Some of them break down violently. Some of them break down by just either leaving the force or stopping.
Some of them are just tired.
Yeah.
Like,
now,
they just don't want to see this anymore.
But the problem is, what they do in terms of how they break down may not be appropriate, and thus fueling the fires of the mob mentality of the riots and causing more and more violence to happen. Basically, violence besets violence, so...
That's why you don't fight fire with fire. It just makes a bigger fire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The problem is, again, you're dealing with a mob mentality, which doesn't just attack the source of the issue, what caused their civil protests target the thing that was unjust. They target what they deemed to be unjustified and seek to gain justice for it. A riot doesn't give a shit. They'll target everything. They'll actually burn down whatever just because they're enraged, just to until they feel satisfied.
You don't give a positive look to your movement.
Yeah.
When you do that.
No, of course not.
You make it look bad, and then people continue to associate it with this is what happens, and that's why that's why when you look at it, everybody's just like, yeah, I don't particularly think that these people are good people. Trump even got the ball rolling, and now Antifa is recognized as a terrorist organization.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to mention.
Yeah. From the past of what they've done, from what I remember seeing in the past, yeah, I would agree. From their past actions, yeah, they would classify as one. Using violence and threats to motivate their own political movements, to motivate political decisions. Yes, that defines basically what a terrorist would be.
I'm all for freedom of speech and expressing your opinion, but there's no freedom of consequence. Like
that's true.
Said plenty of times before. You can say what you want, but you can't get out of what will happen after it. It's like burning a U.S. flag. You can do it. You're allowed to. It's expressing your freedom of speech. Is that going to stop the plenty of people who are going to beat you up over it? No, it's not. And it's not them scrounging your freedoms, your right. It's them expressing themselves in a violent way you're not supposed to. Sometimes people just take the flag away and they'll put the fire out, and it's just like, why are you doing that? You're squandering my freedom of speech. Well, it's like these people are doing their own freedom. They're enacting their own sense of speech. Right. Please do not do that.
Right.
It's just... like I don't understand, because to me it's so simple. To a lot of people it's just like, yeah, I wouldn't go through with that. I wouldn't turn violent because my message is supposed to be one of peace. And then it's just, this happens and you're just like, where did we go wrong? How far have we gone? We took so many steps forward, and now we're back where we started.
That's the thing, Liz. When we think logically, yes, we can see that, and we can make the right decisions. But when we are just engulfed in rage and anger, and just when people are just outraged, especially if it's a group.
What are you angry for? That's when, that's why I said it's important to do self-reflection before you do anything like this.
Like I said, one of the original things that people are finding is that, it's 2020. There's still police profiling. There's still all this racial animosity, especially when it comes to the police force against the black community. And people are getting they're getting upset seeing more and more of this stuff in the news constantly. And that's one of the driving forces that pushed a lot of people to start just protesting and rioting. Yes,
Of course,
the
it's
spear,
Ethos Logos
yeah,
Pathos,
the spearhead of all this was the death of why is his name? Oh my god, this is what Wiz is talking about. Literally, in like 3 weeks or less, this is just gonna be a small little foothold in history. We're not gonna remember a lot of the details of this. This is why it's so fucking sad. Like protest, this has happened so much with so many other protests in the past. Like we remember, oh, remember the protests last year or the year before? Kind of, a little, but not that many will remember this. This is why it's sad. It's all just
it's
people mad.
disappointing. It's
Yeah.
disappointing. I don't. Why react like
Okay.
this?
Like I said, you're engulfed in rage, logic and reason fly out the window. That's why you have people burning down stores that are essential. That's why you have people looting and pillaging and robbing places that are not essential. Just taking luxury items that are not necessary, Legos, and and likewise the police force that has to be called in to stop these things are starting to wear down, starting to lose their cool because they are individuals. Problem is, they're individuals who've been trusted with more power than the average citizen. They're given the use of deadly force to prevent people from causing harm to themselves or others, and sometimes they snap.
You say that, but they're trained to use the taser first before the gun.
Yeah, but I literally saw there is a video I saw where one poor officer actually lost his shit, and while he's trying to get a crowd to disperse, he can't think of anything else but draws his weapon and starts pointing it at citizens. Immediately, once everyone leaves, he puts down he holsters his weapon, walks back to the police officers who are with him, and they like are trying to pull him back. They're trying to pull him away because he actually looked like he was just distraught. He really, you could see the regret in what he did. And like I said, that's an example of what the police are dealing with. They're breaking down too. And it's there are and again, there are some cops who are in the wrong. They have done things in the wrong. There are good cops too, and even a good cop will break. And I just feel bad for those who are trying to still do everything right, still living by their own moral code, when everything's burning around them. And also, like any good protester who's just following the rules, using their freedom of speech, they're literally seeing people around them just deciding to forget their purpose, forget the reason why they're even protesting, and just decide to loot and torch things. Like you've even seen, there's videos where there was a mob that was about to start targeting one store. I think it was a Target, but then a group of the protesters were like chain linked around each other by the front door, telling everyone, "No, we are not here to do this. We're better than this. We're not here to riot."
There's one where they set fire to an auto zone, and that's very intensively dangerous because of the chemicals housed in the area. You know, that's chemical warfare on a certain step, and that's against Geneva Conventions. You could be probably very, 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 very extensively tried for that. That's a felony. Yeah, you're gonna get enacted with a felony for protesting and then starting a riot because you set on fire an auto zone.
Yeah, an auto zone.
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't there like I remember like at the start of all this, that Target burnt down straight up.
That was the one that. Oh my god! What's worse?
That one was just torched.
I'm just remembering You don't know what's worse? I'm just remembering the memes that were made from that. Like,
like
Target
workers coming into the next day.
They literally used the scene from SpongeBob where Mr. Krabs walks into the burned down Krusty
just falls
Krab.
Apart. Yeah, he just falls apart. He's like,
oh my god! I'm just like, holy shit! Did you really just use SpongeBob for this?
And like, are you seriously setting shit and starting riots and fucking looting stuff in a time where our economy is not necessarily going to do so well?
I mean, when I was watching a couple of those videos too, there's people coming outside of that same Target that was burnt with TVs and everything.
Are you seriously starting riots during COVID-19?
Myself. out a window.
Like
I said, again,
it's like you don't see. I'm just saying this now. You don't see a majority of people doing that at all. You really don't.
Support the good the riots that are peaceful, that are trying to, attain
They're
justice.
not riots, riots.
Not right. Sorry, wrong term. I support the protests that are trying to attain justice and attain change for the betterment of all of them.
Even though we know it's not going to happen.
Now,
by the way,
one thing I forgot
just
to
came
mention.
back, right?
Oh,
and everything.
yeah.
She said because they were near the state capital, Sacramento or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is actually doing anything wrong there. It's just peaceful.
Then that's good. The only part
I was
that I'm
surprised
worried
because, dude,
yeah,
it's
you live in California.
It's fucking nutty. The only problem is I looked up the same information. LA is having a shit fit right now.
Yeah.
Again.
Now the thing,
it's Los Angeles.
What ends up happening?
Talk about Los Angeles.
The thing is, we won't. The thing is, the protests that turned into riots, we won't know what happened until it's reviewed and see who started the first thing. Was it a police officer who maybe threw something into the crowd? Did they already just start preemptively throwing tear gas? Did they already start marching in with riot gear, trying to shove everyone out of the fucking way?
You also have to remember 100% you're not exactly supposed to be outside at the moment, so they could have just been trying to get everybody to go home.
Yeah. I mean, again, protest is supposed to cause civil unrest, but at the same time, civil unrest can be disruptive and eventually be illegal. So, especially if you're, like, say, trespassing on property, you are trespassing, so that is a crime. It all depends on what the fuck they're doing. It's a case by case thing.
By the way, this was a post that was actually from the FBI themselves.
Oh wait, is this what I think it is? The
FBI is seeking information in digital media depicting individuals inciting violence during First Amendment protected peaceful demonstrations.
There you go. So they're checking on the cops. They're checking on the cops and they're checking on the protesters. Yeah. This is basically both sides.
There was another video of them actually, cops actually arresting.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
FBI agent.
Yeah.
An actual agent.
Yeah. Where they arrested. And according to the agent, he's saying, they didn't even believe him. He's like, I'm not that guy. And they're like, no, you are. And then they pull his badge.
He called them out on that and pulled their badges.
I like that he pulled all their badges. He kept to his word. He said he was going to make sure that they get charged.
Yeah, and he did it. He did it.
I still like, though, that these officers, like, they're like, no, you're not. And then they pull his badge, they pull his thing, and they're like, oh, fuck. Shit. And meanwhile, the chief in the video is like, no, I'm not giving you that info. What do you mean? You actually have to, police have to give you their info like that. You can't just say no. They can give you their badge. They have to give you their badge number if requested. They can't just hide their info.
By the way, looking at, you know how, like, I just posted that, right?
Yeah.
The first video I see from that.
Uh-huh.
What the fuck?
Oh.
Dude.
Let me see. Pulling it up right now.
That first video from that trend, from that entire, like, thing, right? People just posting what, like, actually posting.
Hold up, let me start a thread. That's
what I'm talking about.
I see. So they posted that the FBI will be investigating all these issues through social media and any decryption, anything that they could get sources from. So immediately the internet replies. They forget, they're aware. Everyone has eyes now. Everyone has a phone. So they're capturing moments. Let's see.
Whoa, what the hell?
They're capturing moments of this. Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. Was that guy just walking? Motherfucker was just walking.
Yeah. He was just walking.
Whoa, what the hell?
Walking is illegal now too?
This man's just like, I was just out here.
He's like, what the fuck, dude?
What are you doing?
Dude, I'm sorry to tell this, but there's like...
That's not even out of...
Wait, where do you... Oh, yeah, he's just standing there. He's like, oh, okay. Wow. Holy shit.
Wow. What the fuck?
What the fuck? That went from 0 to 100 really fucking quick. Dude. Now, there's that other one, the really fucked up one that people have posted.
Yeah.
The one where yeah. Go on.
It's a nutty world. It's
Hmm?
a nutty position.
really nutty
I mean, the best part is, let's remind ourselves, guys, and the Patriot Act still is a thing.
Oh yeah.
Let's remind ourselves that you know, someone's gonna know.
Yeah,
what
and
they're
that's why.
doing.
That's why right now all those videos will be taken into account and reviewed. They'll check the officers because hey, guess what? It's not like the FBI has a data bank of all the officers that they can review and check up and everything. Oh wait, they do. So that's exactly what they're planning to do. They're going to review everything that is reported to them, check the officers, at least pull up all the info that they can to determine what happened, why they did it, whether or not it was unlawful or just. Also, as well as the individuals who were caught on camera, any rioters who performed any illegal acts. And the same thing, determine unlawful or just, and take the appropriate actions on those individuals. So basically,
Y'all
the
know
FBI.
if this happened in the UK, shit would have been down pat because they have more fucking CCTV cameras
Oh
in the
yeah, they
whole
do.
fucking
Holy
country than
shit!
they do people.
Yeah.
What's scarier is just, hey, this happened only a few minutes. Like somebody had a camera, like a video just taken, like I think maybe like 2 hours ago, right, in LA.
Hmm?
A couple cops were beating the shit out of people with batons.
Yo, wait, does anyone have that clip from Futurama?
Which one?
The one
I
where
mean,
they
I'm
were
not gonna
beating up
defend
Fry
either
in the
side,
first
it's just-
episode with the batons, and then
Oh,
like
yeah.
Leela was just like, "Stop! He's already down. You're using excessive force." And then she kicks the shit out of them, and then she's like, "What are you doing? You guys were animals." And it's just like, "I'm sorry, we're just doing our job. We're peace officers."
You're a peace officer? Oh, fuck. Futurama called it.
This shit came out in 1999, guys.
Hell.
And that was just for a gag.
That was for a gag. Oh god, I'm literally looking at more stuff. Yeah. So, because I don't want to aggravate, I don't want to make people angrier than we are, because this is a serious subject. This is happening now. This isn't a historical thing. We're not looking back at a historical piece.
We're living in the moment.
And I don't want to cause you guys to get enraged by anything.
Yeah.
You are welcome to look up this information yourself. Be sure to. I would honestly tell you, please make sure you look up the proper sources. Don't just look at a video and say, "Oh shit, this is real." That's it. Look up where it came from. Look up where the source is. There are videos that are being faked and altered. There are videos that are from other sources or something from long, long ago that are trying to be used now. Just make sure you know that you're pulling up the right info before you come to any decisions. There are good moments that happen between protesters and the police. There are actual moments of humanity between both parties. Unfortunately, most of the videos you will see are negative because that's what everyone wants to see. Sadly, right now, protests are the protests that are peaceful. They are actually being peaceful. There may be some moments where it turns into violence, and that's because something was caused by either a protester or a police officer. It's either or, and it's only going to be determined once they review it.
And while it's still their fault, you gotta understand that even when if you get violence and responding with violence, it's still bad. It's just like school. Remember, if a bully hurts you physically and you respond, you're still at fault. It's like understanding, like now more than ever, that you need to keep your restraint.
As Cloudy posted, our FBI is currently reviewing all, not just protesters, but cops and everything, trying to find justice. They're not trying to like just side with one side. Their job is to find justice. Now, those of you who are scared of what's going on, please rest assured that right now, most people are just angry. Most people are just have no answer of what's going on. We are still currently undergoing the epidemic. A lot of people are still facing lockdowns. A lot of us there's a lot of people who've either lost their jobs, have had it suspended, currently do not know what's about to happen with their employment. It's really scary times. So everyone is on edge. That's why this particular riot seems to have escalated so far across all parts of the nation. It's one of the more unique ones, but what makes me so I swear to God, it's gonna be like a month from now, or maybe later, maybe 2 months from now. We'll be doing this podcast if we're still doing it, but hopefully, yes, we are.
You guys gotta remember the 30th
This-
episode. We look
this-
back on all of our
this'll-
episodes.
Yeah, when we
This
get
one
to when we get back to that and we look back at this, I'm gonna be like, wow, we look
That's
back at
6
this video.
episodes away, and our bitch asses are gonna be like, "Wait, that was what's going on."
Wait,
That
that's what
happened?
happened? Oh fuck!
Swear to God, if we end up downplaying
I-
this by then, this is
We're probably gonna joke about it. and
we're
people are
gonna
get mad.
get news about this later on and realize, oh wait, that shit actually happened.
rest assured, guys, we'll be safe. Those of you who are partaking in the protests, make sure you take proper, use logic when you're there. If you see signs of trouble, if you see signs that something might break out, please take the right steps to either get out, stay back, go back home. Remember, there is still a virus outbreak that is currently happening. Don't let your outrage put your health at risk. Please.
Don't let your outrage put the people that you love at risk.
Hmm?
And those who are liable to the disease.
Those
Like
of you, and again, those of you, if you are seeking justice, if you believe you're doing this to seek justice, especially for the individual who did lose his life, that already has been achieved. The officers are being charged. They've already been reviewed. You can look up this information. This has already happened. It's just, we still want further justice. We want further things for police reform, and I understand that. I fully understand that.
Reform is difficult. It
Mhm.
takes
Oh
time,
God, yeah,
it
it's
takes
bureaucracy.
change. And you have to understand that the policemen are of different completely different generations than a lot of us. Some of them are young, some of them are old, and some of them in the middle. And you're going to have difficulty changing the individual's views about certain things, even though they're supposed to hold to other stuff during their job. It is all about the individual when it comes to this kind of stuff, and their decisions when it comes to handling the criminals and the people that they're attempting to restrain. So do not blame the whole. Never generalize. Make sure that you understand people have their own ideals, morals, and characteristics. Even though they are similar to you, they are still different. And that it's best to judge people based off of their actions and sometimes what they say than how they look on the inside and what group they affiliate with.
I think maybe we should start winding down, because this was one of our more serious podcasts. This
It's
is
a hot
something.
and heated episode.
Yep.
It's exactly what you would expect, especially with the current circumstances that we're under. But at the same exact time, remember, people would remember to keep it. I see you guys getting heated in chat, but remember,
Mhm.
we do appreciate that you guys are trying your best to keep it civil, and as well as understand that this
It's
is
very
one of
appreciated.
those episodes we do need to talk about
Yeah.
this. It's important because it's what's going on now, and for us, we're going to feel the effects for it for about a couple months, for a while, because we're going to see this as a piece of history where we're present time, present day.
Oh,
How
we're
it's gonna-
gonna shit on ourselves hard.
How
aren't
it's we're gonna look back at this and we're gonna be like,
There's a
holy shit.
lovely first tuning of the podcast.
we?
Yeah.
Of course you picked that one and not the ones
You
where we
picked
were
this-
fucking around the whole
Yeah,
time.
not the ones where we're
Oh, God.
traditionally the no controversy podcast is literally just a hodgepodge of topics, but this is the only one we've done where it is just a serious
One.
topic for the
Well,
sake
all
of
of it's affected
Yeah.
us.
Those of you who are
how
new,
it's
yeah.
always.
We typically talk about gaming, what influences us, and just funny stuff that we think is interesting. But yeah, this was something more serious, and it did impact all of us. So we wanted to at least put our 2 cents in here.
Yeah.
So thanks, guys, for joining us. I think
It
unless
won't be as serious next time.
Yeah,
maybe.
we'll
Yeah,
definitely
I
not
don't
be.
know.
Hopefully, yeah.
like
So
Hmm?
anyway, like I forgot what I was going to say. Oh
Mm.
wait, I was thanking the followers.
Ah, yes.
That was what I was doing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Glow Radon Quo 1970 or a Guardian 69. God damn it. Esk Man 1W Rolo Deji 1975 Knack Knack Foo Buzzing We Evil. We've I'm 9,000.
What?
Yes.
That's a good one.
Yes.
I like that one.
Just yes.
9,000, absolutely. Appreciate it for everybody who has followed us. Thank you very much for joining us again for the No Consequences podcast. This week's host was Malcolm. Malcolm, lay it out for us.
Huh? Oh, right.
Huh?
Sorry, I was watching memes to distract myself.
The ending bit. The
Yes.
ending bit.
Yes.
The
Right.
You fucking long.
Okay. So yeah, once again, guys, thanks so much for joining me and my friends. My name is Alcom. I was your host today, as was mentioned, and alongside me was Liz Kid Wiz down below. You can find her on twitch.tv/LizKidWiz, in which she streams various games as well as does art streams where you can see her do very good artwork, although she keeps constantly saying no. Also, you can commission her, so consider doing that. Yes.
Yeah.
Also, if you don't know, I'm gonna shout out to the person who made my icon. It was Koro, or by
Ah.
Koro.
Yes.
Awesome.
It
It
looks really good.
Hover over me.
I like.
I don't need to cover over you. It does it every once in a while.
Hover over me.
Oh, fine. Hover over you. Look at it go. Look at it go. It blinks. Oh,
There you
that's.
go.
Look at me too. I can blink too.
Look at me, I blink too.
Now, and over to my bottom left or bottom left or bottom right of the screen is Wiz. I used to be able to say you stream, but not anymore. You basically you just do your own thing, but you. Let me see. What can I say? You are basically the face of this goddamn podcast most of the time. You basically
He does all the administrative stuff.
Yes, you basically you do all the administrative stuff of the podcast.
I do upload the podcast, which we haven't uploaded. If you do check on our YouTube channel, if you haven't already, go subscribe to it. I will be uploading the last couple episodes that there are uploaded. They're just unlisted and in flux because I was waiting to set them all up. Probably by at the end of this week, I will set it. I will upload everything. So if you do want to see all of the podcasts in its whole and throughout our wonderful time, it's almost been how long has it? It's almost about to be a year. I think a couple months, isn't it?
Yeah.
A couple months. About to be a year since we started the podcast.
Yeah, podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, when your podcast, I can't believe it's still going. Can you believe it's still going?
Yeah.
It's still going.
Yeah, it's like
Holy shit.
It's like the world keeps turning, so we have things to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Except for the past month.
Yeah,
Can we?
That's okay.
What's worse is this fucking thing's gonna last longer now with the goddamn everything. Everyone's gonna get sick again. But we've already been over this. Over to my left is my buddy ZR Cloudy. You can catch him on twitch.tv/ZR. What do you mean?
He streamed good, 100%.
Twitch.tv/ZR Cloudy, where he plays a variety of different games, and you can catch, like I said, catch him and enjoy his streams, where he is the tryhard mouse boy who plays games and screams. By the way, you're not the tryhard. I'm just fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. You know.
Malcolm out there being a good streamer made fun of his friends, some teasing.
Yeah, man, why you gotta make fun of my eyes?
Because I love you, buddies. All of you. Wait, when did I make fun of your... Wait, hold on. Look into my eyes.
I'm joking.
Look at me. I'm cloudy. Oh shit!
You guys are terrible.
I'm sorry.
Thank you very much for the chat who joined us, and for anyone who's listening to the podcast on YouTube. Once again, you can catch us here live on the No Consequences podcast on
Please
Twitch.
email me.
You can please, and also if you have any topics for us to discuss on the podcast, or any comments, or anything
Questions,
really,
please.
questions that you want us to answer, because we do like to do Q&As at the end of our podcast. We're trying for it. Please email us at the no consequences podcast at gmail.com. That's no consequences podcast at gmail.com. You can find it down below.
We welcome all sorts
menu,
of like
little bar.
just anything. Just send us anything.
Send memes if you
Send
want.
memes, dude.
Don't send me memes. I'm gonna get mad.
Oh yeah, I
Send
forgot.
memes.
She keeps getting sent
Only
memes.
if you make no consequences podcast centered memes will I. We do have a Discord like server.
Oh
but
yeah,
never
we actually
had
should
much of a
mention.
need
We
to
should
use it.
mention.
Should I give a permalink to put down below in the Bama?
I don't know.
Is the podcast ready?
Are we ready for it?
Like
Liz, you were ready,
are we?
man. You were ready for it,
I
basically.
was ready, but
Yeah.
I still need our big description. I wanted someone to write before I put the rest of the panel.
Oh, you mean like at the welcome page or something to describe what the?
Yeah.
I see.
Okay. No. Well, yeah. We'll definitely get to it.
To work on.
Yeah. Just to add it again.
Not lazy.
Should we just to say it, for the people who are here right now, chat, we're currently a bi-weekly podcast, but we used to be a weekly podcast. If you like to have it weekly or bi-weekly, put your numbers in now.
Please?
Right now. Right now.
Wait, which numbers are which?
1 is for bi-weekly and 2 is for weekly.
Oh.
And it's always on Tuesday. That's the key. We always do it on Tuesday. It's always been like that. I don't know why it's been like that.
If weekly, bi-weekly 1, weekly 2. Now. Oh, great. That means I gotta think of something new every week. Oh, Discord died again.
Well, no, I'm just gonna say this too. Sometimes there will be instances where some of us can't make it to the podcast. There will be some of those instances. Oh, also Alchem's died.
Yeah, Discord died again.
Actually died.
Discord died
Jesus
again.
Christ.
Be right back. Discord's acting up once again. Oh.
Yeah. I think everything died.
Yeah, well, I can still hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
All right, then let's continue. Let's continue.
All right, seems like already voting on the weekly podcast.
Weekly
Okay.
Side. I mean, the only reason why we didn't do weekly is because we were like
Running out of stuff.
we were running out of stuff.
It's because there was nothing going on every week. It was just the same thing. Corona this, Corona that. People are losing their mind.
It just repeats.
Oh, Discord actually died. Give me 1 second, everyone. Uh-oh. Gotta love when Discord dies.
Back.
There we go. Why is Discord dying on me?
Because Discord hates you.
Apparently.
If you look at the fucking name of the thing, no consequences.
No consequences. Fuck you.
No consequences.
But with that, thank you very much. We'll try to do it next week. We will make sure to follow everybody here. Well, not everybody, but primarily Cloudy, Alchem, and Liz. Their Twitch channels are down below, and please follow them. They do post that we're going live, and we don't do any more announces. But if you're really wanting to see the podcast on average, we do like to do ours at 7 p.m. EST on Tuesdays.
Oh,
7 p.m. EST.
To answer you, no, it doesn't have to be something recent topics. Hell, you can literally just send us messages to ask us.
Anything.
You can ask us random questions if you like. Liz is okay. I'm not okay. No lie here. Liz is actually dying for some random questions. She doesn't care. She will actually so if you want to send us questions, please proceed to send it to that email down below. Liz will be glad to hear all of your messages, read all of your messages, and will provide you an answer during the next podcast.
Absolutely. We definitely want you guys. We want you guys both in the chat, and for those who do listen to the podcast out of the stream, that we want you guys to be involved, and we want you guys to have us do questions, do Q&As at the end of the podcast, like I said, or we could talk about interesting topics that could fit for the podcast. Anything is up there. Remember, this is the No Consequences podcast. No consequences for just asking us if we're interested in a topic, and if we are,
no consequences for misspelling or even I don't know, not saying
Yeah, I knew you were gonna go flack for that.
We mead.
We mean.
meet?
Okay.
We talk?
Okay. God damn, man. So I messed up the title. Shit.
Sometimes we have a stroke. It's okay.
Yeah.
Alchem, one time you accidentally started the podcast without properly even putting the new title
Yeah, I
in. It was the
remember.
old one. So you had to restart it. Then the last time you didn't even change the episode name. So it's just and then there's the
It's
just
okay. We're
the-
all human
the-
after all.
We're all human after
we're
all.
all
Oh.
All right, let's close
We're
it up,
all
ladies
human,
and gentlemen.
after all. Oh God. Now, thank you everyone, and have yourself a great night. Later.
But they stupid. I'm watching
You're
you.
Stupid.
I'm at your
I got
house.
like
I'm at your
Oh,
window.
forgot.
With a
Oh,
knife.
okay.
toasted cream cheese.
Okay. With that, we're done. What the?